We're staying with the development in Lagos, where 6 buildings collapsed after fire raises more than 14 buildings in an entire stretch of Docemo Street in Idumota, Lagos Island. The fire also destroyed several goods, which its worth is yet to be ascertained. Recall that weeks ago, some shops caught fire in the same Docemo area, leading to loss of property worth millions of naira. Already, emergency responders are on ground to put out the fire. According to reports, the fire started from a generator spark on a penthouse. The owner threw the generator and fuel from it caused a huge spark that resulted in the fire outbreak. TVC News senior reporter Theophilus Elama spoke earlier with updates from the scene. Has any casualties been recorded so far, Theophilus?
Well, thankfully, no casualty was recorded. Possibly because today is a public holiday and people didn't really come to the shop to open up, or people did not really come to buy goods. But from what we have heard, no casualty was recorded. The firefighters are doing all they can to put the fire out in various places. So far, the work has paid off, but you can see the fire is still on here. And that's because they've been pumping everything they've had to put the fire down, but it has refused to go down. And so they seem to be left with no choice than to let it burn out itself. Thankfully, Nifemi, the people here were cooperative. Emergency responders had to help out, though we have members of the police and the military here to also keep the crowd from coming from at bay. But as it is right now, the people have been helpful.
Back now to our coverage of the fire outbreak at Idumota at Lagos. I'm joined by a permanent secretary of the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Olufemi Okeosoyintolu. So, Toyintolu, bring us up to speed with your efforts at putting out the fire at the site at the scene of the incident.
Are involved in managing emergency are on the ground. When the incident occurred, we responded swiftly, promptly, and our efforts, we are able to localize the incident. We prevent the fire from spreading from one building to another. However, it affected 14 buildings, and some of the buildings that are very unstable, we've moved them to ground zero with our heavy-duty equipment. Despite the fact that it's a massive disaster, there is no mortality. We sympathize with those people that have lost their properties. However, under the watch of this governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, we are doing everything that is humanly possible to ensure safety of life and property in that area, to ensure that we put the fire as quickly as possible, and to ensure that the disaster zone is safe. I appeal to good people of Lagos State to go abide with their work, to realize that we are on top of the challenges, and to note that we have a major challenge in terms of crowd control in that place. However, with the combined efforts of emergency responders of the state and the rapid response squad with the police force, we are able to surmount that challenge. Operation is still ongoing. We will give you the updates. But however, we are on top of the challenges.
Precisely, what is your projection? Because as at 6 p.m. today, we could still see smokes and fire billowing from the scene of the incident. How soon?
Well, concerning the fire, we are on top of the fire. We are able to localize it. But the major problem that we are having and that we are going to be on top are the buildings that were affected. Those buildings, we are going to carry out material testing, and we are going to ensure that any one of the buildings that failed the material testing, we are going to pull them to ground zero. Every government officials that are involved in that area are on the ground. The special advisor of the CBD, the Honorable Committee on Special So we've taken care ownership of that place.
Mr. Osoyintolu,
under the watch of
yes,
the governor.
this is one fire too many. What happened yesterday at Pongbon, some 3 weeks ago, there was a fire incident in the same location in Idumota. Does this bother you?
It bothers me. It bothers me as emergency disaster expert. And if you look at it, if you look at the etiology, is more of the same thing. Look at what causes these problems today. The major causes of the problem was that someone was filling a generator that is on, that is working. They are filling they are using flammable substance to fill a generator that is working, and that's what led to the problem. And after the generator has caught fire, he threw the generator to another building. So he aided in spreading of the fire. So what we are saying is that despite the government is doing everything humanly possible to ensure safety of life, the attitude and our orientation of our people is not in consonance to what the government is doing. And that is the lacuna. Everybody must put safety first. They must abide with safety rules and regulations.
All right.
And what aided the spread of this fire is that 90% of these shops stored flammable substances.
All right.
They store flammable chemicals. So these are the issues.
All right. That's our time. Permanent Secretary LASEMA, Olufemi Oke Osoyintolu, thank you for talking to us.